First off, I'm sure you guys have answered this ad nauseum, but I love Preston Sturges and Carol Lombard, comedies from the past. Why, in general, is pretty much most of the best comedy not on live action, but in animation? So apologies for that question, but just from your take, that I missed that dialogue, and I get that from animation. So.
Yeah, I think it's because the animation is funnier because the characters can bug their eyes out when they get surprised by something. Um, Animated character falls down a flight of stairs. You're not worried if that has sterilized them. It's just funny to watch, that they haven't hurt themselves. And I think we have brighter colors, and colors are very funny. Humans laugh at very bright colors, And so, with all of those things combined, as long as you have people saying funny stuff and funny things are happening, we're in the funny zone with animation.
Yeah, I mean, I also think like on so many comedies now, there's no comedy in comedies in the live
Yeah.
action comedies. They're like dramas. And with animation, especially with this show, with the actors we have, with the artists we have, like we never want to cut a joke. We always want to put jokes in. We make our actors talk incredibly fast. They're great. And I think that's just for us the speed. We want it to be so fast that you have to go back and watch something because you missed it.
Yeah, if it's funny, it goes in. It doesn't have to make sense.
Yep.
We really want to say something with Solar Opposites. And that thing we want to say is jokes.
The thing you want to say is jokes. Look, what's it like? Okay, again, another obvious question. What's it like to have a show that's just so roundly praised and from the critics and from the audience? Is it something that you guys just take with a grain of salt, and you got to keep a level head about it because all of you really work hard to make those jokes work, I guess?
Well, Greg, I worked on Veronica's Closet, so I know what it means to work on a very praised show. But you guys should probably, I don't know if Mike's worked on any shows like that.
I find I don't read reviews. I like to look at our art, and I like to take in if I feel like we've done well. And then I have Danielle read the reviews and tell them to me. And so I do like hearing that people like the show. But I try to keep myself pure.
Bad reviews to him.
Yeah, it's
I've
great.
never heard a bad review of the show.
Honestly, Greg,
Mhm.
we have so much time making each other laugh and having fun with this show. And I think hopefully the joy of making it comes out in the show. So we're obviously so excited that people like it and have responded to it. Because sometimes we just think it's us being weirdos. And we love that people pick up on all the little weird things that are in the show.
We have so much fun in the writers' room, and we've been kind of like a family for so many years now that now we always just compete to make each other laugh. And the fact that that translates outside is great because it's truly this show is what comedy should be. It just gives us so much joy to make.
I'm like the family dog.
Yeah.
Is it? I guess it's really not discussed a lot, but writing comedy, as far as like, is it also the key to writing successful comedy is actually giving yourself the room to, you said you write jokes, and having jokes is to actually fail. Maybe it's like batting. Hitting 300, 3 out of 10 is great. Is it also being open to actually having these jokes or these lines? Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have room to fail. Like, we can only be successful. So, sometimes somebody thinks like, should we try failing this episode or this week? And then we usually just decide to be victorious. You know what I mean? Because like we only have, we don't have 22 something episodes like shows used to have. You used to fail every other episode, and that was fine. But now we have to like take the failures and kind of like, put them away. Like, we have to hit home runs every episode, or else, what are we even doing? You know what I mean?
Some people would say that writing comedy is like being on the show alone, which is my favorite show to watch right now. Like, you have to fail a gajillion times to survive and to push each other a little farther. But Mike,
I mean, I think,
and he's amazing at it.
yeah, what you see on screen, Greg, though, is us having failed so many times and gone through so many iterations of everything that by the time we get to the screen, as Mike says, like, we're putting our best, the thing that has won out over everything else.
I think that it's hard to fail on this show because we've defined our own goalposts and we're just having a good time. So like, if something brings you joy, you can't fail at it because you're having a good time doing it, and whoever's watching it and is enjoying it, they're set their goalposts and they're going to be happy in their lives. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go into something that's so joyful and fun and try to find fault with it, you should just pick it up for 100 more seasons. That's my take on it.
I think we should pick it up for 100 more seasons. I think that's what we'd like.
You know what, Danielle? I'll do it. It's picked up.
Great.
My final question is very quickly just that, I think if I recall the end of Sullivan's Travels, you have people really laughing and there's joy in that. You guys were mentioning about the joy. Is the joy not, do you guys ever have that Sullivan's Travels moment where you're actually in a room and you see people laugh at your work, and is it gratifying, or is the joy actually just being in that writer's room and making, like, then you're saying, making each other's laugh, and it's all about the work and not just the response? So
I think it's sort of 50-50. Like when we sent Yumulak to hell, it made us all laugh. But then when we see other people laugh at it, it's like, oh, we've created a little community with our own audience. But it starts in the writer's room, Corvo's afraid of candy corn. That's funny to us. Is it going to be funny to people outside? I don't know. Like, it's, the room is big enough and the people are funny enough that, like, it feels like it is a safe enough assumption that if we're all laughing at something, that other people out in the world will laugh. But we're not sitting in your living room hearing you laugh at a TV show. We're making each other laugh in the room. Like when Josh is writing these little ditties for the Crypt Keeper, like that's the dopamine hit you get out of making Danielle laugh with a ditty is what we hope the audience at home will laugh when they're seeing the ditties.
Great. Thank you guys so much for your time. Really appreciate it.